Hey there! Oh my gosh, this is a fantastic question. I know many of you have broached this, and it is, how can I respond to some of these really kind of violent, vicious kinds of approaches that I'm receiving out when I do go out in public? And it can be somebody you don't know at all, you've never met, you don't think you ever met. We always have met souls before. But if you're thinking like, this was a stranger to me and I went to the store today and this happened and I'm just shocked and I don't even know what I could have done differently. So I asked angels and guides about this because it actually did happen to myself and BJ one day at the very beginning of things when there was a bit of scarcity that you found at the grocery store and such. And we were coming out, loading up the truck with some things, and a man came around the corner and the angel said, move to the back of the truck right now. And I looked up because my head was down. I was looking at the truck and I looked up and I saw him coming up behind BJ. So, as you know, BJ is my cowboy nerd, and so I moved to the back of the truck very quickly and they said, move the items closer to BJ that you have right there on the corner of the truck. So I did, and the gentleman, he was very thin and not that tall, probably about 5'8", stopped in his tracks. He had seen me, hadn't known I was there. And so his whole intention of his aim of what he had planned to do now shifted. I saw, and of course, talking to their essential self of the person, so I'm asking, what is your intention? And I'm hearing this information coming in. Now, I highly advise you, if you are in a situation like this and you do experience a sense of foreboding or warning or caution, or be aware here, be awake for this, be present, heed it, listen to it, pay attention to your gut instinct when it says something's off here, something doesn't feel right. Because if you have that preventative outlook on it, then you can start radiating energy of compassion, peace, empathy. It's okay. It's going to be okay to somebody who is at that tipping point of having a very full throttle reaction on you. So if you're curious as to what I was hearing from his essential self, it was basically his plan was to come up and confront BJ, probably had a knife, and ask for stuff out of the truck. Because, as you know, with some of the scarcity and lack, people are not finding what they're looking for on the shelves. And they are needing to sell things in order to feed some addiction, perhaps, that they are next going to on the street, and etc. So there's a lot of information that can come in when you ask the question, what is going on? What is this about here? So BJ, for whatever reason, happened to sense me at the same time. So he looked up to me and turned towards the gentleman. And because we both really reflected, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. He stopped, and everything that he intended to do dropped away. Now he moved to his car, and we didn't say much because there are times when you feel like, you know what, you can give somebody a sense of consolation or counsel, and you know it's going to fall on dead ears because they're just not in that vibration. They're not in that frequency to hear it. They might get more defensive, thinking, who are you to be telling me anything, right? So we just maintained more quiet and observed him in his state of desperation. And he said, you know what, I'm just so scared right now. I'm so scared. Just a few days ago I was fine. I didn't have this feeling that I had. Now I'm so mad about everything that I feel like I could kill somebody. And it was clear that he could. I mean, there was no question about it, that if his volatility had gone to another level up, maybe run into somebody right after us, who then he felt he was even more in desperation. His story was that he had 3 children under the age of 5 that he was caring for, and things were not there for his children. Whether or not that is true is unimportant. What was important was that he was in that state of tipping. Where was he going to go from there? He could have attacked. He could have done something. There could have been something, but when you are out and about and you're experiencing this, it could be happening in your job in the next month or two, with people feeling at their desperate measure's sake. When things all of a sudden get frozen up and people feel out of control, that reaction oftentimes is very knee-jerk, and it is very of, I'm going to go hurt somebody because I'm being hurt against my will. So do what you can to reflect back peace no matter what's coming at you. Reflect back compassion. Reflect back you know what, it's going to be okay. What the two of us said to him was, we get it. We totally understand it. Yep, these are tense times. There is a heightened sense of, what are you going to do next? What's going to happen next? We get it. It's okay. It's okay. And BJ literally said, dude, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And he just kind of got back into his car and pulled out. Now you could say, well, what if that happened to a different person? Maybe somebody else would have whipped around and said, what the heck are you going to do to me? Like, what's the plan here? And it could have been raised to that effect where you've got a battle going on then, instead of somebody just saying, you know what, I get it. It's okay that you feel panicked and you are enraged right now, that you are not being able to feed an addiction because something is not there available for you. And that's okay too. Like, just acceptance of it and sending out and radiating a sense of, it's going to be okay. One way or another, we're all going to get through this together. He said, you know, I'm really sorry. And we just said, it's okay. It's okay. And he went off. So, I mean, went off in his car, not went off on us. That was not happening. So I urge you, when you're running into it and you're thinking, especially when it feels very personal against you, a very personal attack, it's not personal, it's never personal. Think about the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz when he says, take nothing personal. That's one of the agreements. It is. You are reflecting back for people all the time. We're always reflecting for each other. Peace, compassion, be able to just bringing a light into something that's so dark. You never know if just your little impact for what was 5 minutes for us that day, maybe 5 minutes. You never know if suddenly that person thinks, what the heck? How are those people walking around and they're going to be okay and I'm not? Of course we're all going to be okay. Somehow we're going to get through this, right? So just reflect a different thing than jumping to the conclusion or the judgment of how awful a person is or how terrible, or that you have to be in that volatility with the person. You don't have to. Hold your frequency state. They're either going to join you in the frequency state, which is what vibrations do, or they will drop back. So either way, it's win-win, because they can either have a taste of that peace does exist still, or they'll go off and have to go do their thing in their own soul pattern, whatever they've chosen to do. Don't be part of the fire. Instead, be part of that soothing water, that bubbling, sparkling fountain that they can say, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be okay. Somehow I'm gonna get through this. This is Jeannie with Blaha. Take a walk with your angels.com. Peace. See you soon.